bonfire somewhere else, and out of nowhere, Smokey Bear shows up and hugs me.
So you noticed some wildfire hazards and moved your bonfire to a safer location.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Smokey, all right. He likes it when people help prevent wildfires. It hits him close to home. Not everybody gets the hug, my friend. So that's pretty special to get a hug from Smokey Bear.
So it was him. Guys, I told you it was Smokey.
Okay, well, congratulations, my friend. And thanks for calling. There are many ways to prevent a wildfire. Learn how you can do your part at SmokeyBear.com.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Sponsored by the U.S. Forest Service, Ad Council, and your state forester.
It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
Little roller up along first. Behind the back. It gets blockbuster. Here comes Knight in the next one. See you in Pittsburgh. Can't wait. All the baby is out on the field. He's going to go into the end zone. Looking, throwing in the end zone.
You're tuned into Game On with John Silverberg. Talking all things sports. It's
Game on! Yeah, game on!
Game On, right here on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. We're live here with Game On the Worldwide Sports Radio Network, joining you every single Tuesday from 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can check us out on worldwidesportsradio.com, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Periscope, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all smart speakers, and so much more. Do not mind the camera setup tonight. I will be working on a new computer for next week. So just for today, we'll be on my phone. But, of course, we have a great show for you tonight. We're going to get into the NBA draft a little bit. That'll be at 7:30 from the Barclays Center, so we will touch on that. We're going to touch on the Brandon Sorsby situation with him getting disapproved for the supplemental draft, what that means for him going forward. And, of course, we are going to touch on trades that happened in the NBA last night, literally from Giannis to Julius Randle, and why Becky Hammon still cannot admit she was wrong. We will touch on all that and so much more. But of course, I bring in my co-host, my father, Nelson Silverberg. Dad, first, I'm happy belated Father's Day to you. It was a great day on Sunday. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. We're having a good day. Everything's going well. Let's get started. Let's talk about stuff.
It was my last day of work today. Summer vacation. That's it. And then, of course, on the board, Speedy Petey will chime in as well when he comes on. There he is. Dad, what were you going to say? You were going to say something?
The last day of work for the year, not the last day of work permanently.
No, that's wishful thinking. No, that's wishful thinking. But no, last day of work till the summer's over and we're good. So we're going to start on time going forward.
I know. I'm excited.
But of course, we have a lot to get into tonight, and it was really because of everything that happened last night. And if you were staying up late at 2 o'clock in the morning, 1 o'clock in the morning, which Speedy probably was, because that's what he does. Oh, yeah. He probably was the first one to see it, all the news and everything like that. And that is the trade of Giannis Antetokounmpo, which I believe that is what you were discussing before I came on the show. I'm guessing, right, Speedy and Dad? You were discussing that. Yep. So basically, Speedy, what was the trade? It was Giannis, Bobby Portis, for what? Kel'el Ware, Tyler Herro, what? 2 first-round picks.
It was 3 first-round picks, 1 second, and a first swap. And then it was Jaquez, who was Jaime Jaquez, who was a 6th Man of the Year finalist, a guard.
Right. He was good.
European rookie they drafted last year. I forget his name. It's a long name.
And they got Kel'el Ware, and they got Ware in the deal too, which was good. And they're probably going to flip Herro. So
he's pretty young. I don't know if they're going to flip Herro.
I mean, everything I've read is they're going to flip him. because they don't believe he could be a. I don't want to use the Becky Hammond term, but they don't believe he could be a 1A in All-Stars.
Yeah, but I mean, you can't. You know, I don't think they got that level of player back, but I think
No, but they
he's a
want to
good
flip
player.
it
He's a
because
good
they're gonna
player.
they're on a rebuild. They want to get as many draft picks as possible. This is what they're going to do. It's just amazing if you're Jimmy Haslam. I saw this today. You know, in the last month, you've traded Giannis and you've traded Myles Garrett. Because remember, he's the owner of the Cleveland Browns also. So
Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying.
yeah, so it's,
Is it just
as
me, Speedy, or does he look exceptionally nice tonight, Josh, on the phone? I think he looks better on the phone than he does with. I don't know if it's the lighting or whatever, but you look very nice tonight, Josh.
it could be the room, probably could be that. You know,
Speedy, you could chime in. You know, you could say, does he look? I think he has a glow. I think he looks.
maybe it's because it was the last day of work today, and I'm done for till the summer. So maybe it's that glow. It could be possibly that. I mean, I count down these days, so you know it's but going back to what we were talking about, in regards to people, all the talk this morning has been one: did the Milwaukee Bucks three? There's actually been three questions. One: did the Milwaukee Bucks make the right deal for Giannis? Two: did Miami remotely even do enough to improve their team? And three: where does that leave the Boston Celtics now with the Jaylen Brown situation? Because everything that I've heard is that they are going to trade him, and there's already teams lining up to trade for Jaylen Brown. So we start, I guess, with the. I'll start with the Miami Heat perspective because that's the team that got Giannis, and it's actually funny because it was so funny because he also came out last night that a report came out last week that Giannis was still trying to push his way to the Knicks, and the Knicks were just not even entertaining the idea anymore. So he had his opportunity. It was last year over the summer when the Bucks gave the Knicks a 2-week window. They didn't like the offer, and they moved on. And then once the Knicks won a championship, that was the end of that. So clearly, the Knicks were still his number one option because, of course, being a contender, when they play in New York City, you're starting to see the admiration that Jalen Brunson is getting. You know, I guess what do they say? The fruits is enjoying the fruits of their what's the saying?
Falling tree.
Yeah, exactly. The fruits of their success, and Giannis probably is seeing that and going, "Darn, I wish I was a part of this." But goes to Miami, goes to South Beach, tax free, not too shabby. But the question now remains: is the Heat have next to no cap room? They're going to lose Norman Powell, who was an all-star for them this year, I believe, right, Speedy? In free agency, so they're not going to be able to bring him back. I can't believe Andrew Wiggins is still playing basketball. That's besides the point. But the Heat have no cap room. You're not winning with Bam Adebayo and Giannis, and I love Bam Adebayo. One of his biggest supporters in regards to I love the way he plays the game. He's one of the only few big men in the league that actually brings the ball up the court. But they're not winning with those two, and they don't have a point guard to give them the ball, and their bench is absolute trash now. So I'm wondering now, did Miami even do the right thing by making a move like this, or could they have gone after, say, a Kawhi Leonard or something like that, where you don't have to trade anywhere close to what you want to trade what you have to trade. You're adding a player to still a good player, but you're not going to have to trade the farm to get him. Does Giannis move the needle for the Miami Heat? Are they able to compete with? And I'll say because they won the championship, are they able to compete with the New York Knicks at this point?
Are you throwing that out there?
Yes.
All right. Everything you said is true.
Thank you.
Miami got better. Milwaukee made a good trade. And what did you say about the Celtics? And
The Celtics, the Celtics are in disarray right now.
The Celtics are still an excellent team. All right, let's be honest. Okay, so let's take Miami. What were they, a play? Did they get in the tournament this year? Were they a play-in this year?
They were playing, and they lost in the opening game.
All right, so they were a play-in. So they're probably better than a play-in now, right?
Are they? I don't think so. I don't believe they are.
You don't think they're going to be a top 8 Eastern Conference team?
I think they'll be top 8, but I don't think they're any better because the problem is they have nothing around them at all. Ware's gone, Herro's gone. They're going to lose Powell, who was an all-star this year. They have no bench. They don't have a guard. They don't have a point guard.
Yeah, I'm not saying
they trade and they trade all their draft picks, and they have no salary cap. So where are they getting better?
Because they got Giannis. That makes them better.
But with Giannis, like what? So
I'm not saying that. Wait. I'm not saying they're going to win the championship.
No. I know.
I'm saying what? Better than last year.
Are they better than the Knicks?
I didn't say that. I said they're better than last year.
No, I'm asking you, are they better than the Knicks?
No, they're not better than the Celtics.
Okay, so let me go to, are they better than the Celtics?
No, they're going to fall behind. They're going to be around that. They might be around Indiana.
Are they better than Detroit?
No, I'm not saying that. They're not going to be in the top 4. What I'm saying
they're not. I don't think they're going to be in the top 6.
Fine, I think
because you look at the top. Because you look at the top. What is it? You would say what? Knicks, Boston, Detroit, Indiana. Those are the top 4, right? Cleveland, 5.
Cleveland.
I said no. I made Cleveland. I said Cleveland. I corrected. And then Indiana with Halliburton coming back.
Fine. So I put them around Indiana. If he's healthy.
How does that? There's the quick question. If he's healthy.
I can't argue. I'm not arguing. I'm not even defending the trade because I actually think Milwaukee did excellent. Okay? I think it was.
No, I agree with you. Though Milwaukee did do good. I agree with you.
But to say that Miami is a worse team after making this trade is not true. I think they got.
No, I don't think they're worse. I don't think they're better or worse. I think they're stagnant. I think they're the same.
You think you get Giannis and you got to go one way. First of all, they got a great coach. Okay, and
I love Spoelstra.
Right, and they got a very sharp front office. So I know they're like Norman and guys are going to blow, and these guys are going to get out. And Wiggins had an exceptional year as a 3-point shooter, and you can't count on that happening again. And they don't basically right now they don't have anybody on that team to spread the floor. But what they do have, and what can get them wins, is defense. They can win on their defense. They can win on keeping games very low scoring.
But who's there? But who? But
their front court.
No, but okay. So the front court. So I thought it said Speedy. Then where's the depth coming from to give Adebayo and Giannis? Hold on, to give Adebayo and Giannis blows for a few minutes. Where's that coming from?
Random undrafted players, probably. That's
what I'm saying. They don't have They don't have depth pieces. And if you want to keep, you talk about Giannis staying healthy. If you want to keep Giannis healthy, you need depth on your team. Giannis coming out of the game or Bam coming out of the game, it's going to kill Miami because you can't build around that. There's no way for them to bring somebody who's on the court and to just. They don't have draft picks. Miami.
How many wins did they have last year, Miami? How many wins did they have? If somebody
was it 38, Speedy?
Miami had 43 and 39.
Okay. Do you think they're gonna have more than 43 wins this year?
I think they'll stay almost about the same.
Okay. I think they're gonna have more than 43 wins.
You're giving Giannis too much credit.
Hey, you were begging the Knicks to get him all last year. All last year when I said
a year ago. Yeah, a year ago when he was a year ago when he actually had when he had a good season and he was pretty healthy that season. Now I'm seeing what he gave me this. No, he did not have a good season this year. He didn't do anything this year. No, he didn't play. All he did was get hurt all the time and complain and whine and moan. Oh, I don't want to leave Milwaukee. But he didn't want to be the victim every time.
You want to hear an amazing stat? Brunson has more playoff wins than Giannis.
That's not surprising.
I'm just saying. That is kind of surprising.
Not really. He's gone to the conference finals 2 straight years in a row. Giannis hasn't been. Giannis has only been in one conference final, and that was when they won the championship.
Here's why is that Brunson has more series wins than Giannis, and Giannis has not. The team has not
Brunson also has better playoff career numbers than SGA, which is now why Brunson's a top 5 player in the league now.
I'm not saying it's a good trade. I'm not. I don't like the trade for Miami.
You wanted Boston. I was gonna say you wanted Boston to get Giannis.
Yeah, I did. Because I thought Boston was a bigger threat, and what Boston would have had to have given up to really make that trade work would have ruined Boston.
They were only willing to offer, what was it, Speedy? Jaylen Brown and 2 first-round picks.
Yeah. They weren't even willing to do any young depth. Which was
they weren't doing. They weren't trading Pritchard. They weren't trading White. They weren't trading any of those guys. It was Brown and 2 first, and they basically what Brad Stevens basically said, and Brad Stevens basically told Milwaukee, "Listen, we'll trade you a superstar for a superstar." Brown's a Finals MVP. He's a Finals MVP. He's been in the MVP. He's been in the top 5 in the MVP conversation 2 years in a row. He carried a team pretty much this year to the number 2 seed. You want to you want to do this, or you don't want to do it? They weren't willing to do any more.
But mind you, all season you've been begging the Knicks to make this trade, and I kept saying this would be a terrible trade for the Knicks. Even when the Knicks were bad during the regular season, you were going, "Oh, they got to get Giannis. They're going to get Giannis. They're going to get Giannis."
Hold on, Speedy. Did I say they were going to get Giannis, or did I say 2 things are going to happen? Either they're winning a championship or they're trading Giannis.
I'm pretty sure you said at the deadline that you thought Minnesota was getting Giannis.
I did. I thought and it turned out he was willing to waive his no trade clause to go play with Anthony Edwards. That came out today from Shams.
You begging all season for the Knicks to get Giannis?
I said 2 things are going to happen. Either they're going to win a championship or they're going to trade for Giannis. It's one or the other.
I'm saying during the season trade deadline,
I still didn't think they were going to get him. I still thought he would go to Minnesota. I thought they was going to go with Anthony Edwards. That's what I thought was going to happen.
You wanted the Knicks to trade for Giannis.
Yeah, at the time I did. I was wrong. I'll admit I was wrong. Unlike Becky Hammond, I'll admit I was wrong about that one. I mean, that's fine. At least I have. I mean, Jesus Christ. At least, I mean, my God, that one. I don't care. No. She had it. Nope. I actually have. She talked to the New York Post. I believe it was this morning. I have quotes we're going to read back. From her. She had a chance to defend herself. She did. But anyway, I now the Celtics have to figure out what they're going to do with Jaylen Brown. The report is they still are going to trade him.
You're telling me if the Celtics do absolutely nothing, they wouldn't be a title contender?
I didn't say that, but what I'm saying is but the Celtics. All right, it has come out that the Celtics are going to trade Jaylen Brown. They are trading him. And there's already 6 or 7 teams that are lined up to trade for him. The Celtics have already, from what I've read, Speedy, I'm sure you've seen the same thing. They have made Jaylen Brown available in trades because of everything that happened today. That Brown is also not happy with the Celtics. So because the quote that has come out from Jaylen Brown is, quote, he is ready to start being the 1A on his own team. He does not want to be the 1B anymore with Tatum. That's basically quote unquote saying, I do not want to play with Jason Tatum anymore.
Okay, I'm going to say this. If the Celtics trade him, right, this is not going to be a Giannis type trade.
It won't. It shouldn't be.
They're getting top talent back immediate. The Celtics window is wide open for a title, and then
of course, they'll get. Knowing Brad Stevens and how shrewd he is, they're going to get a lot of very good players back and depth pieces back, not just for the starting lineup, but for the bench role too. That you're going to see is going to plug in right away for the Celtics team. That's going to make them successful. Because Brad Stevens, listen, is he going to get an A-level return for Jaylen Brown? I don't know. We'll see. But he's going to get very good players back. And I don't say player, I say players back. He will get very good players back from teams. And he's going to get what I think Stevens is going to also want to do is help the bench for his team a little bit more and try to get away from the whole 3-and-D scheme that Missoula plays. I think he'll probably want to try to get those. Here's the thing. The Celtics need a big. They need a big. They need a big badly. They tried it with Vucevic at the deadline. Remember that show? I laughed hysterically when I traded for him because I said that is probably one of the absolute worst fits because the problem with Vucevic is if he doesn't hit his threes, he doesn't play defense at all, so he doesn't fit, period. And then he was not even starting for the Celtics in the playoffs at all. So it didn't even work. To me, so we'll see what the return about for Brown would be. The other trade that happened, and I feel bad. I do feel bad, and I really do want him to do well. But the New York Knicks literally just won a championship, and now Julius Randle is getting sent back to New York to play with Brooklyn.
New York, baby.
Man, that is about as low as it could get. When I saw that this morning, the first thing was, I actually feel really sorry for him.
They probably said, "Hey, Julius, you're heading back to New York."
Oh God! Oh God! Can you imagine? Here's the thing: all he's going to hear about now is the Knicks championship thing. That's all he's going to hear about. And it was interesting.
I like them.
Speedy, you saw my post I put on Twitter a week ago. There was the day after the Knicks won a championship. I said, it was a picture of Tom Thibodeau talking to Jalen Brunson in the picture, and I said, these two are the building blocks that started this whole transition. That was literally what I said. I said these were the two starters that got this started. Were these guys? And basically, Julius was just in the words from a Minnesota Timberwolves front office guy, it's an addition by subtraction, trading Julius Randle.
We'll see.
Which is like,
we'll see.
Look,
about that.
He had a horrible. He had a really, really, really bad playoff.
Right,
we know this. It was really bad, and I think they were. But I think also the problem is the DiVincenzo injury. That's another killer. Then you see now Karl Anthony Towns wins a championship, and now the quote comes out apparently from a source that Anthony Edwards was beyond pissed off when they traded Karl Anthony Towns because you have to remember him and Towns are best friends, and he was upset about that they kept Rudy Gobert over Karl Anthony Towns. He wanted them to keep Towns over Gobert. Minnesota did not do that. And I think what makes Anthony Edwards more angry is now he's seeing Karl Anthony Towns win a championship, and he's just like, "What the hell?" The two guys he traded for, one couldn't score in the playoffs, the other one tore his Achilles. This is, and now the big thing that came out of ESPN say, I think it was Shams or somebody said the expectation is now growing that they believe Anthony Edwards is going to be the next superstar that's going to go crazy and ask out of Minnesota. It was Giannis. Now it's going to be Anthony Edwards. Now, if it's Anthony Edwards,
Boston.
Dang it. I want the Knicks. I'll trade Bridges. I'll trade OG. I'll trade give me Anthony Edwards on the New York Knicks.
OG puts up good numbers before you start giving.
He does, but if you get Anthony Edwards,
see what I mean?
You get Anthony Edwards.
This is the same nonsense.
No.
This is it. You know what I'm saying? No. This is it. Last year during middle of the season, Knicks got to get Giannis. Knicks got to get now. He's saying,
but let me ask you, Speedy, would you trade those guys for Anthony Edwards?
I don't know, because sometimes the defense disappears. Sometimes I like the idea of keeping OG and Bridges.
All right, so you know what? We'll keep. So you know what? We'll keep everybody. Anthony Edwards can go to Boston. Actually, no, don't go to Boston. Don't go to Boston. He could go to
That's the way you're talking.
He could go to Chicago. He could go to Chicago or something. There you go. That'll help him.
How about near where you went to college? Why not the Atlanta Hawks? They got a young team. They've been looking for a star.
Meanwhile, I saw this story a few minutes ago. So when I was interning at the New York Post, my mentor, Tim Bontemps, was one of my mentors at the New York Post. is now getting a front office job with the Atlanta Hawks.
Call him up. Call him
I
up.
have his number still. I don't know if it's the number still.
Get him on the
Hey
show.
Tim. Hey Tim. Let me ask you a question. How come the Hawks don't know how to score more than 80 points in a game? What's up with that?
That's another team you got to figure in with that whole Miami Heat area, right? Atlanta.
Not sure. No, Orlando. Orlando's another good one.
Atlanta.
I think Indiana's going to be back to being a top 4 team. I think with Halliburton being back, with Siakam and Zubac, and they still have Nembhard, Neesmith. Yeah, they still have guys. Carlisle's still there.
The East is loaded with those 45-win teams.
I agree, and I'm sick. I'm sick of everybody saying how much better the West is than the East. I'm so tired of it because I believe 3 of the last 6 years, the Eastern Conference has won the NBA Finals.
Okay.
Right? Am I right or wrong on that one?
Yeah, I don't
It's,
remember.
2 of the last 4.
Okay.
Warriors before that. So no, it's West has won 3 of the last 5. Celtics and the Knicks.
That's right. But 2 of the last 4 have been the East, the Celtics and the Knicks.
2 of the last 3. Yep. 2 of the last 3 Celtics.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So I don't understand the notion that the West is so much better than the East. I don't get it. Do they have better teams record-wise? Sure. But when it comes head-to-head, they don't always succeed. That's the difference.
Well, I think OKC is the best team in the league. I think, to me, the team, and I keep saying, the team I'm watching this whole offseason for improvement.
This is the Knicks.
No, the Knicks is the Nuggets. I'm watching this Nuggets team. I want to see what they do. That's the team that I'm.
They try to trade Jamal. They try to trade Jamal Murray. That's what they should do, but he got no value at this point.
That's the team I'm watching. Yeah. Right. I'm just saying you got to stop trading guys, Josh. I would trade.
No,
I would trade Anthony for Brown, and I would throw in a draft pick. I would throw Brown and a draft pick.
Do you know how much better Anthony Edwards is than Do you know how much better Anthony Edwards is than Jaylen Brown?
I'm just saying this is how it's going to happen. No, this is how it's going to happen.
Jaylen Brown's Jaylen Brown's what, 29?
I don't know if he's even that old. It's more the money, but the money has to work. It's complicated.
How old is Jaylen Brown and how old is Anthony Edwards?
Brown is
29.
Brown is
29. I was right. I was right. Look at that.
Edwards is
25.
Right now, turning 25.
Oh, so close. 25? Man, I got more right.
You're right there.
I got more right in the last 5 seconds than Becky Hammond did her whole analyst career.
Okay.
Look at that. Okay.
We forget her. So I would give the deal for Giannis, give him till Minnesota and get Anthony Edwards. I would.
No. The point was for Giannis to play with Anthony Edwards, not trade each other.
No, but I'm saying if I was Boston, I would make the same offer to Minnesota to get Edwards.
Oh, for Anthony Edwards? No, they would. I think Minnesota would ask for a lot more. Would you say, Speedy? They would ask for a lot more. 2 first and Jaylen Brown?
I don't know.
2 first and Jaylen Brown for Anthony Edwards? Yeah, if he's that much.
Yeah, they would probably ask for Pritchard and White. That's probably what they would ask for. Because Minnesota's thought process is they're still contending. They don't want to completely
I'm giving them a guy that could circle the wagons around, and I'm giving him 2 draft picks. And let's face it.
Yeah, but Anthony Edwards is Anthony Edwards is twice the player Jaylen Brown is.
Yeah, but when it comes to disgruntled players, there's not a lot of ways you could trade a disgruntled top salaried guy and make the money work. And this is the way you make the money work. It's complicated. Look at the Towns. What did Minnesota get for Towns? What they got? Randle and DiVincenzo and
1 first round pick.
And 1 first. So what are you kidding me? He was like, I'm not saying they're comparable, but think about it. You know, Brown and 2 firsts is a lot more than they got for Towns. It's just a matter. It's not so much the talent swap as the salary swap, that you have to make the money work. And when you're trading top guys, you have to make the money work. And
sure, that's why it was remember, it was a 3-team deal in the Randle trade that Cam Thomas went to Chicago.
Right. So
that kid was it Nic Claxton?
Yeah, who's a good player.
He is a good player, but that trade's been brewing for the last year from trading him.
But if that's the trade that's going to happen with Boston, they're not going to get 3 or 4 guys back for Brown. They're going to look to get
Do
Tom.
you think with the Nets traded for Julius Randle, do you think if Jody Fernandez struggles to begin the season, do you think they sign Tom Thibodeau to be the head coach and they try to do the Knicks route?
That would be so funny.
I'm serious. I'm not joking. Like, I'm being serious. Like, do you actually think they try this and be like, Randall and Tibbs worked to be the building blocks for the Knicks and they want a championship. Maybe we should go this route because we suck at sucking. So, I mean,
That'd be worse.
yeah. I mean, they got the 6th pick tonight. They're gonna. The NBA draft is a very good draft, but they're missing out on the 3 big. You can really say, I guess, 4 with the kid from North Carolina, was going to Chicago.
In an NBA draft, and a good draft. I mean,
This is a very good draft.
You would be lucky to get 5 impact players.
There's literally going to be there are first round picks that are going to fall into the second round. Like, what's his face? What's the kid's name? Reid, the kid from UConn.
Harris Reid, yeah.
Like that kid might be there at 31 for the Knicks. And then, the crappy thing is, the Knicks might have to trade that first round pick to save money on their roster.
Yeah, that's right. They got to.
Which it stinks because you might have the kid for Sierra from North Carolina available. You might have Pete from Arizona available. You might have Reed from UConn available. Like, these kids are, who's the one Errol, like Simeon, the kid from Duke or whatever the freak his name is, the guard.
Isaiah Evans.
What is it?
Isaiah
Evans. Yeah, like he might be available. Like, it's going to be very tempting for the Knicks to want to take one of these guys. But if James Dolan, quote unquote, doesn't want to go to the second apron, which, by the way, absolutely impossible for it to even. Dolan wants to bring back the whole team, but it's impossible to bring back the whole team if you don't go to the second apron. That's right.
They're going to get rid of guys. Robinson, I think, is gone.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Robinson is gone. Here's the thing: if they know Robinson is gone, then one of the two guys I would trade this week, you could tell me if I'm wrong, would be Vassir from North Carolina or Reed from UConn. We would draft one of those two. Vassir, he's 7 feet tall, and Vassir, he's 6'10", 6'11". They both play. Reed plays excellent defense, and he's a nasty rebounder. We saw him in the game against Duke, actually, in the Elite Eight, where he killed Duke on the boards. And Vassir, he's a 7-foot center who could shoot threes, which is something out of the ordinary and out of the element for the Knicks.
I don't want that. No, forget it. No.
Well, then,
I need a guy that weighs. I need a guy with mass.
You can try. I mean, you're not going to get the guy from Michigan, the 7'4" kid.
No,
you're not going to get.
I'd rather get a 7-foot guy with mass than some 7'3", guy that's just thin.
Well, no, Vassir's a big dude. What is Vassir's speed? He's what, 235, 240?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, he's a big kid.
That's what they got to get.
He's a big kid. Reed's 6'10", 6'11". I think he's about 260, 265. Reed. He's a big dude. But I mean, they
already got a 3-point shooting center. They got talent. They don't need another guy to shoot. They need a guy they could bring in to play.
No, and they brought they brought Diawara back on a $10 million contract, which I love. That I love Diawara.
I know.
I want him on the rotation. That you know that. I know everything that I've heard. Everything that I've heard.
They put off Alvarado for 4 days, I think. For the
Alvarado extended his
option date.
His option date, which means he's coming back. That means he's coming back. I mean, they'd be stupid not to let him come back in the first place. He was key in their run. But bringing, I think Diawara, you're going to see a bigger run. Everything I've read on Twitter is everybody says if you keep developing this kid, a lot of Pascal Siakam and Diawara plays great D, really good rebounder, has a great jump shot, worked on his 3-point shooting, it drives to the basket very well. They see a lot of Siakam in Diawara, and if they keep developing him, I think he's going to be an integral part off the bench for them next year. They still need a big off the bench to be a center. It cannot be Huck Porty. What I need is this. I need a guy.
They need a Mitchell Robinson.
Yeah, but well, no. I mean, unless Mitch says I'll come back for a discount, maybe. Here's what they could do. They could try to go to Cat, and they could say to Cat, "Listen, Jalen took a massive discount. Are you willing to do the same? If you're not willing to do the same, we'll give you the contract, but we're gonna lose guys on this team. Just a heads up. You know what I'm saying? Because here's the thing, Mitchell Robinson, and I'm gonna say it, he is a massive integral part of this team if they want to repeat as champions next year. With his defense, with his rebounding, all of that. Coming off the bench, he is vital.
What did he do? Mitchell Robinson, lazy. You ragged on Mitchell Robinson.
Oh, he was very bad in the finals. But before that, he did everything. He was great. The whole playoff, he did everything. I also think what he did with his hand screwed him up. He wasn't playing the same with the hand injury. You saw it. He wasn't playing the same. He wasn't playing the same defense. He wasn't playing the same defense that he was playing. But he was a little slow in the Spurs series. I'll give him that. But his defense and his rebounding and his size is integral. Now, if you get a guy, I said like a Bashir, which we never get his weight. I think it was around the 245.
It was two. He's actually only listed at 227, but he's 6'11".
So he's 6'11", and what's Reid? Reid is 6'10", 6'11", probably around 260, I think.
Yeah, I know he's 6'10". I definitely know he's 6'10". I remember that.
He's around the same. He would be just he's an inch or two smaller than Robinson.
He's actually a lot bigger though, weight wise. He's listed as 265 weight wise though.
Yeah, I said so he's 265. So I think, see, and it's interesting though. If the Knicks do. If they do lose Robinson, I think the Knicks need to have it in their head tonight, because you're not just you're gonna have good players available. Like I said, Koa Pete is another one from Arizona. You're not just gonna, in my opinion, you can't just trade the pick without knowing if you have things set up for the future. You need to know.
Yeah, right. The Knicks will not trade this pick until the 22nd pick is made.
And if the Knicks, and here's the thing, if the Knicks take one of these centers, if they take Reid, or if they take Vasir, if they take one of these centers, Robinson's not coming back. I think that would be the signal that he's not coming back. I think that would be it.
There's no good chance he's not coming back.
It's
like he wants too much. He's too valuable. Just like what's his name left the year before to go to OKC. There's value to these guys.
Yeah, I mean, I think they'll bring Alvarado back, and they'll find a way to bring Shamet back. But after that, I think the center wise, they're going to have to go through the draft with a plug and play guy, whether it's Reid or Vasir, one of those guys. They're going to have to go plug and play. I mean, if you really want to trade up and get one of the centers, if you want to. I don't know if you could trade all the way up and get the kid from Michigan, the 7'3" kid.
It's probably set now because Dusty May got hired by the Mavericks.
Oh shoot, you're probably right. Yeah, you're right. He probably is going to go 10 to the Mavericks. You're right. Yeah, that is true. Boy, that'd be a big front court with him and Flag. Oh my god,
that's going to kill OKC. I think OKC's desperate for him.
Well, you know what's interesting? I was listening to there was an NBA draft analyst. I was listening to Sirius XM on the way home today, and there was an NBA draft analyst talking about the draft, and he said OKC. He was like, well, it's interesting because when they played San Antonio in the Western Conference Finals, he thought the kid from Michigan would be perfect, right? He thought they would be a perfect fit for them. But then he actually said, but if you look at the NBA Finals, go look at how OG Anunoby played Wembanyama defensively, even at 6'8", 6'9", because of OG's weight. Because he's a big 6'8". You know what I mean? So he was saying you don't have to get a 7'3" guy. He said, like, basically he's saying if you got a 6'8", 6'9", 255-pound kid that can just bully Wembanyama around, then that's perfect for the Thunder. They don't need to get the 7'4" kid from Michigan because he's also very scrawny too, I believe, and skinny anyway. It's like another. And then the other thing is, if you draft this kid, okay, we don't know about Hartenstein's player option, right? And with now with Chet, what are they going to get out of home? What are they going to get trading Holmgren? So it's like now you're going to have 3 7-foot centers on your team. That just doesn't make any sense.
Holmgren would go.
I think Hartenstein might take that player option, right? Is it a player option or a team option? Actually, I think it's a team option. I think it's team option. Yeah, I mean, I don't understand why they didn't play Hartenstein more in that
They should have
series.
played him on Wemby. Just played him straight up.
It made no sense. It made no sense. I mean, Holmgren got it. Holmgren got. I mean, I shouldn't say anything because Mitchell Robinson was also getting kind of abused by Wembanyama at times, but Holmgren was just getting. Every time Holmgren would try to drive to the basket, he would stop and pass the ball. And I would be like, go at him. Get him in foul trouble. Go at him.
No, because if you're that big, like his whole life, his only talent is his size. He's got no real great moves or anything. So he's finally playing someone his size. And he realized his skills as a basketball player are so limited that when he plays someone his size, he has no moves. So he has nothing. Holmgren, that's it. He's just a very big. I actually think the same way about Wembanyama half the time. They keep talking about he can.
Wembanyama's a much better. Well, Wembanyama's a much better shooter than Holmgren.
He's a better shooter, but like he's not really a really good shooter. He's a good shooter. You know what I mean? Like when Wembanyama wants to hoist threes up, I'm like, yeah, great. Every time he hoists three, I'm like, yeah, great, do that.
He's a 5. He's a 5 that plays like a 1. And here's the thing: when you're 7'4" or 7'5" with a wingspan of over 8, and I said, I was saying this to you and the other dads over there on Father's Day. I kept saying this to everybody. When you're 7'5" and you don't have you're over 8 and you don't have a post move, how are you that tall and you don't have a post move on the inside?
He has a post move.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. He doesn't have a post move. He has no post move. Go look. He has none.
But he can't do it against somebody who's strong.
He never uses it at all. There were times when Brunson was guarding him, he didn't even use the post move. He just went for a layup.
But he played better against OKC than he did against the Knicks.
Speedy, did you see any post move from Wemby at all in this playoff?
Yeah, that spin around little
maybe
finger roll or whatever.
Hold on.
Maybe like 1 or 2, like not as much as it should have been.
None. And when you're that tall, let me tell you something. Go look at Kareem using his height advantage. Okay,
he's not Kareem. That's my point.
No, but I'm saying is go look at even Bill Russell, Bill Russell, all those guys. All right, if what's it matter? Go look at Shaq.
Shaq.
Every time Shaq
pounds.
Doesn't matter.
They're not.
He would post. He doesn't have to be the same thing. You're 7'5" and you're playing at 8 feet tall. You shouldn't have to be the same thing. You should be playing above guys. If Jalen Brunson is blocking you, you shouldn't have to drive to the basket. You should just make a post move over him.
Did you see the play with Towns? They were in the paint, and Wembanyama has the ball, and he keeps trying to push on Towns, and he can't budge him. Like, he just can't move him. Do you think if Shaq was in that same position that Towns would just be immobile?
Oh, yeah. Yao Ming was sometimes.
Yao Ming was a big guy. Big guy. He wasn't.
I'm just saying he was. Yeah, I'm just saying though.
All I'm saying.
You have to use, but here's the thing. I'm not saying against Shaq. I'm saying against Jalen Brunson. I'm saying against Landry Shamet. I'm saying against Josh Hart.
Yes.
Go look at the highlights. Go look. He would drive to the rim against Jalen Brunson if Brunson was playing him defensively. I'm like, dude, you're right there. Just do a hook shot.
Yes.
Post move. Very simple.
He's a 22-year-old 7'3" guy that plays finesse. While we don't want him playing finesse, we want him playing strong, right? You don't want him to be a finesse player. You want him to be a strong player. We want a guy, even if he scores, 24 points 13 rebound guy. That's what we want. That's what he should be pulling down. 24-13. He should be doing that in his sleep. He would do that. He should be doing that every day. I mean,
excuse me. He's not Josh Hart. He can't do that.
I said 24 points, not 2.4 points.
Josh Hart he had a great Eastern Conference, Josh Hart. And then at finals, he forgot how to play basketball.
Thank God.
No, not really. He was still good defensively and did well rebounding, so that was good.
Didn't you every time Josh Hart went out and they put Shamet in, you went like, oh, phew.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know he does.
I was waiting for McBride to get going at some point. I was like, yeah, God.
That's the guy I'm kind of curious what they're going to do. I guess they got to keep him. He's under contract, right?
He's a restricted. Yeah, he's a restricted free agent.
I wonder if they're going to do with him if they want. That's a place they could move money around with him. Like I'm kind of curious.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing about McBride is that when he gets hot, you sort of against Philly.
I know.
Like you sort of against Philly. When he gets hot, he don't. And the thing about him, he's also one of their better perimeter defenders.
I'm not arguing. He's got a need. He provides something, but I'm just saying if there's guys that are going to go, that actually make some decent money. He's one of those.
I'm just proud of Mike Brown for finally realizing that he is not a number one. Geez, Tibbs did that every time Tibbs would make him the number one at times in games. I would be like, why? Well, he's not a number one. He doesn't. He can't bring the ball up the court. Why are we?
Well, he wouldn't bring it all the way up because he shoots it before he gets it.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's a fact. But, it's like, man, it was nuts how just – but, like I said, but anyway, like I said, we'll see about the draft tonight. There's going to be a lot of telling things. We know who's going – I know the kid, the Brinster, how do I say his name? Devonsa, who was at the NBA Finals interviewing players, actually. He's probably going number one to Washington, which he's going to be upset about that because he went to high school in Utah, went to BYU. So he probably is wishing
to go to Utah, yeah.
To go to the Jazz, but they're number two. Oh, God, I can't. This Met news, I can't with this crap. Sorry.
What's the matter?
Oh, my God. David Stearns had another press conference today, and he said the Mets don't have time to compete this season. Jeez Louise, guy. Get off your high horse.
Who said that, Stearns?
Stearns. Oh, my God.
Look, they got to sell tickets.
They ain't selling many, and like I said, I love watching Steve Cohen sit courtside for the Knicks games. Love watching that.
He's going to be at WNBA games.
Honeymoon's over, pal. Sorry.
You don't want to get me started on that. I take heat from my children over things I say about things. You don't know what you're talking about.
I think I was kind of stupid letting Alonzo go at this point, though. That looks really bad. Because Alonzo's actually he's actually meeting his season averages right now.
That's a 5-year deal. It's a 5-year deal.
If you win me a championship before 5 years, I'll take it.
Do you think Alonzo being in this lineup is going to get them to a championship?
They got to an NLCS with him in the lineup.
Do you see the pitching?
They don't get there. They don't get there. They don't get there without him. They don't beat Milwaukee, which, by the way, Stearns actually let him go, but signed the closer that he gave the home run against.
He's been pitching well, though. I don't have a problem with Devin Williams.
Oh, God. Everybody in that bullpen has been great, except for one freaking guy. Williams, he gets up a run in every game.
You know who's not been good? Like Raleigh. I don't want to take about, but he's definitely took a step back.
Raley's been fine. No, he's fine, Raleigh.
He's slumped like the last couple of weeks, but
yeah, it's been really weird how.
And Minter's been fantastic. Weaver's been great. The team sucks. They got no starting pitching. They're trash.
This is how we're going to end it tonight.
No. But I will say this: you and I were in agreement on when they fired Hefner. You and I both said we didn't understand that.
I thought that was the worst thing they did.
And what did I say with you at the time? I said I agree with you.
Yeah,
I said it made no sense at the time. I said, why are you? I mean, Speed members, when Eric was doing the show with me, we had a whole argument about who the best pitching coach was in Major League Baseball. And I went on my high horse and I said Jeremy Hefner is the best pitching coach in baseball. And I said that. And I said they should never get rid of this guy. Remember that?
Yep. Well, I don't know.
And they got rid of him. And this guy they brought in, this scrub from Boston, stinks.
Yeah.
He's a bum. But anyway, no. No, we have the Brandon Sorsby situation. So the NFL has come out today and they said they're not doing a supplemental draft for him. Speedy, do you have the statement that was written by the NFL on him?
Yeah.
Let me see. There was a whole, and I completely disagreed with all of it. It was so. I mean,
you sound like my cousin Vinny. Whatever that guy said is BS.
it is because did you find it?
Yep. So it said in late April, we inquired with the NFL about the process for gaining entry into the supplemental draft. The response from the league was all that was required was a short application, which needed to be submitted prior to June 22nd. At no point did the NFL indicate that they would need or want to review anything other than the application itself, or that submitting the application or close to the deadline would have any impact on the NFL consideration. Last week, we requested the NFL supplemental draft application. The application asked for basic biographical information, responses to 4 yes or no questions, and a small space for Mr. Sorsby to say, why are you applying for the 2026 supplemental draft? It did not provide an opportunity or ask Mr. Sorsby to submit any additional documentation or information. Mr. Sorsby fully completed the application and submitted to the NFL within hours of receiving it. Mr. Sorsby's agent followed up with the NFL to ask if there were any additional information was needed or the NFL had any questions, and the NFL declined that invitation. The NFL gave its letter purporting to deny Mr. Sorsby to this entry to the supplemental draft to the media before sending it to him. He learned that the NFL was not planning to hold a supplemental draft when the media reported it.
Now, my question is, why are they not doing the supplemental draft? Let me see. Hold on.
You mean why isn't he in the supplemental draft?
No. Hold on. I'm going to find it. What is NFL? Hold on. I'm going to find it.
Oh, we got time.
Okay. Let me see. Let me see. Oh, one of the reasons they are not holding the draft. You ready for this? You'll like this one. This is funny. You ready?
Wait, hold on.
Integrity concerns.
Oh, yeah.
So hold on. So this kid
who's not innocent. Let's just
hold on. No. Stop. I had everything planned out. Let me see.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay. So this kid who had a gambling addiction, right? Actually, by the way, bet on his teams to win, number one. Number two, he actually went to rehab for 35 days, okay? Went to rehab to get cleaned. That's number two. Number three, the NFL, who was very much against all the gambling and all this nonsense, once the gambling sites got approved, basically said, oh, okay, let's hold our hand out and make a partnership with FanDuel and DraftKings and all this nonsense. So, to me, this kid went to get help, bet on games for his teams to win, and was applying for, by the way, what is legal and allowed to happen with something on draft, but they have integrity concerns. But by the way, Speedy, who was the guy on the Tennessee Titans that hit somebody or whatever, shot somebody in the club or something like that, but got to play in the NFL again?
Oh, Pac-Man Jones.
Pac-Man Jones. Okay, what did Pac-Man Jones do, Speedy? What did he do?
Oh, I forget the exact details, but yeah, it was something crazy like that. And then there was like another incident when it was with the Bengals.
I'll tell you what Pac-Man Jones did. Okay, so Pac-Man Jones in a club shot somebody and paralyzed them. Okay?
Oh, wow. That's what it was.
Okay? Was Pac-Man Jones allowed to come back to the NFL?
Yeah.
Okay. Dante Stallworth. Didn't he hit somebody while driving?
Wait a minute. First of all, you
Oh, no.
somebody and just come back to the NFL. There's criminal aspects to this. Like
He did. He went to jail, and hold on.
Yeah, for a week.
No, hold on.
Talking about?
No. So went to jail, came back, got to play again. Number 2, Dante Sword did a hit and run where he hit somebody. Okay, if you want me to get all my ducks in a row, how about the fact that Rasheed Rice, who just spent 30 days for domestic abuse, 30 days, and gets to play first game and gets to be at training camp this year. But we're worried about the integrity of a guy who gambled on his team to win, but went to go get rehab for himself.
Oh,
that's where we draw the line, where we're going to try to screw this kid over, but we're going to let all these other guys who have done. Tyreek Hill had a freaking match in his house that his son set the house on fire.
You got to give something for that.
I mean, where are we going with this?
What's your point?
My point is that they're doing dirty to this kid.
No, they're not.
They are. Speedy, would you agree? Are they doing dirty to this kid? Yes or no?
It's very selective as it is. They suspend Calvin Ridley a whole year for gambling, but we'll only suspend a domestic violence offender 6 games.
Do you hear that? Do you hear that? So you're allowed to beat a woman, but you can't gamble on sports.
So I could make a joke, but I don't want to get taken over.
No, don't do that. Let's not be stupid. Let's not be stupid.
So I'm going to say this. Can I just say
don't be, and you can play devil's advocate all you want.
I'm going to be serious about this. I'm going to be serious about this. The NFL, let me finish this, is like any other company, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the fact of the matter, they look at this, and you know what they say? They go, it's just not worth it. That's it. That's it. That's all they're saying. It's just not worth it.
But I'm confused though. I know, but I'm confused though. So no. I was gonna say, but I know, and that's the point, and that's why the NFL is so stupid and so wrong by this. Because you can't tell me this kid can't be in a draft and can't get into the NFL, but they're gonna let Pac-Man Jones shoot somebody and then let him come back in the league.
Speedy, there has to be extenuating circumstances.
Speedy, am I right or am I wrong here with this?
Go shooting people and
say
not go to jail for a while.
Hold on.
No, Pac-Man Jones.
I think
them
are worse.
Plaxico Burress brought an illegal firearm into a club, shot himself, and was back in the league a year later.
I understand.
I mean, the kid did gambling, and he went to rehab on his own for this.
Let me ask you a question. Let's say they let him in the league. And I don't think they should let him in the league, but let's say they let him in the league, okay?
But they should never let everybody else come back.
No,
okay.
I'm just saying, this is just my opinion. They shouldn't let him in.
You're not right about this, but go on.
And he gets drafted by the Jets, right? Let's say he gets, and it's found out later on that while he's a quarterback of the Jets, he's betting on the Jets, right? Now, how would you feel about a player on your Jets that's the quarterback that's stupid enough to bet on the Jets to win a game? No,
so really. Then here's what I would do. Then So here's what I would do. Nice joke, by the way. Here's what I would do. If you want to punish him, let him have the supplemental draft, but do what they did to Terrell Pryor. Terrell Pryor came out of Ohio State, went in the supplemental draft. The Cleveland Browns took him. They suspended him for 6 games.
You want to know something?
That's what they should do.
I guarantee you this. I would bet money that if he got in the supplemental draft, nobody drafts him.
Oh, that's bull. Oh, no.
Team is going to want to take.
They're crazy. Let me tell you something. He has a higher prospect rating than Fernando Mendoza. People are. I mean, this kid was going to be a top. Speedy, yes or no? Was this kid not going to be a top 10 pick in the draft?
5 seconds. I'm going to start asking Speedy.
Go ahead.
He was going to be a first round pick. I don't know about top 10, but at least a first round pick.
Yeah, it's going to be a first round pick.
No team's going to want.
He was going to be a first round pick.
They talked. I'm sure the league had the owner. First of all, the commissioner works for the owners, right? We know that, right? So I'm sure the league got together, had a conversation about this, and said, "This just isn't worth it. Let this.
But do you understand the integrity part of their wording?
The integrity of the NFL. Is this what we're going to argue about? The integrity.
Yes,
of the
because
NFL?
the NFL. Because the NFL are hypocritical. Because they're hypocrites. Because they were against the gambling. They were against the gambling, and then when the gambling got legalized, they stuck their hand out and said, "We'll take your money."
I've been saying.
Yes.
How many years have I been saying that the NFL games have been fixed?
Oh, God, it's disgusting with the integrity. I hate the wording. I hate the wording. The wording is so bad. It is horrible. It is so bad. The integrity. The league has no integrity.
That's very good. Wow.
None.
Really? Great.
They don't.
The NBA has integrity? The NBA?
No! Not with the Chauncey Billups thing, no.
Okay, what about the officiating in the NBA Finals? Was that have integrity?
Oh, no, that was just stupidity.
No. It was intentional to keep the season going as long as they could. Sports leagues are based on making money. They don't
the NHL, I don't think. The NHL has integrity, I would say.
Oh, they have.
I think it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to fix. It's kind of hard to fix. Well, then again, I had Tim Peel on my show, so it's yeah. I mean, okay. So we're gonna go there. But anyway, I just think the whole thing is just.
You have a league.
I like it. I think it's completely wrong. I think it's wrong.
You have a league that.
And I would take him if I'm the Jets. I would take him.
You're
100%.
in a league, and every week I could pick 4 games every week that raise suspicions about weird officiating, and they're in bed with gambling. They actually make money. They're actually in bed with the gambling. You know what I'm saying? They have teams in Las Vegas. There's no integrity in the NFL. There's no integrity in the NBA. This is sports. They're in it to make money. That's it.
Yeah.
We can argue about.
Like I said, I think Sorsby should be in the draft. I think they should be allowed in the league and get suspended 6 games.
Yeah. Really.
Having said that, this has been a great show.
Oh, it was fun.
This was great.
I'm going to ask Speedy 5 more questions. I'm going to write questions. So
go ahead. Speedy's a source.
Next week, I'm going to get prepared. I'm going to jump on the questions to Speedy.
Speedy's a source.
I'm not ready this week, but next week, I'm going to write questions down for Speedy.
Sure. What town do you live in?
I'm going to ask tougher ones than that.
Oh. Check us out, worldwidesportsradio.com, YouTube, Instagram, Periscope, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Facebook, Alexa Smart Speakers, and so much more. Check out all the other great shows we have on here, such as Derek Sports Loudmouth, Snowman in the Morning, of course, and of course the Weekend Crunch, which is on 103.9 FM on Saturdays at 7 p.m. Weekend, Derek Sports Loudmouth with Arrow, Speedy, The Crew, Quentin Copels, Fish, and then Snowman in the Morning is a great show as well. So check all those great shows out. A lot of fun. Of course, Game On, we're here on Tuesdays at 6 o'clock. So this was a fun show. A lot of yelling.
It's always good.
That's all right.
It's always fun.
I call it compelling. I call it I'm putting myself on the edge of my seat.
All right. That's great.
It was actually, real quick before we go, I actually saw tickets for the NBA draft tonight. They were like $40 on Ticketmaster to go. To say like the last row at Barclays Center. I was like, why would I go to this? The Knicks are going to trade the draft pick anyway. And I could go home.
These are not compelling. Like, not compelling. I travel to Brooklyn to hear names announced. That's crazy.
Well, yeah. I said the only chance I would ever go to is if the Jets get the number 1 pick next year, and if they draft Arch Manning. That's the only way I would go.
Oh, of course, you travel halfway across the country just to hear somebody.
It's in DC. It's in DC next year. Smart guy.
I wouldn't go to I wouldn't go to Herrick School to hear a guy go.
Oh my God! All right, Arch. Okay, well that's it for our show. Thank you so much, everybody, to the fans for listening and watching us. This has been wonderful. Speedy, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Speedy had a lot of fun tonight. I could tell. Dad, thank you so much. I appreciate it as always. This is great. Thank you to the fans for listening and watching us. Again, we will talk to you next week. Oh, don't forget to the NHL draft is this weekend also.
Great. What is this week? Oh, the
The
NHL.
NHL draft is on Friday.
Compelling. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. But we'll talk to everybody next week. Take care. Have a good rest of your week. For Nelson Silverberg, for Speedy Petey, I'm Josh Silverberg. This has been Game On Live on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. Take care and have a good rest of your week.
You're listening to the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.